boss I am choosing for this particular conversation is, I think, one of the first or second bosses you fight in Hunter the Reckoning on the Xbox. It's like a big, massive monster teddy bear. So, spoiler alert, essentially you are your hunter and you're fighting the undead, and then you find this little girl and she says her parents are at the church. So you gotta fight your way and protect this little girl, and you finally get to the church and her parents are there, and she drops her teddy bear, and evil demonic spirits go into the teddy bear and make it from a teddy bear to like 8 feet tall, spikes, teeth and everything. It kills the parents, and then you're in a church and you're fighting this teddy bear while you're running around pews to avoid it puking acid on you. And I love the Hunter the Reckoning games, but they have the weirdest bosses in them. At one point in time you fight Santa Claus, I think, and a big slug man, cockroach thing. And so, but the teddy bear was a surprise. Did not expect the teddy bear. So that's the one I'm going to go with, one of my favorite boss battles that I've encountered.
Best boss fight in a video game. The nostalgic person in me wants to say Ganon from Ocarina of Time, but since I didn't really play that game myself, I played it with my brother since I think I was 8 years old when it came out. I'm going to have to go with the Ganon boss fight from Twilight Princess, since it pretty much was a rehash of Ocarina of Time and A Link to the Past together. Basically, you have 4 forms of Ganon to fight. The first one, he takes hold of, I think they call it Puppet or Possession Princess Zelda, and it's pretty much the same as Ocarina of Time, where she shoots light orbs at you and you gotta hit them back at her. So you do that a couple times, and then Ganon re-manifests as Dark Beast Ganon, which is his warthog form, and then you turn into a wolf with Minda on your back, and he sort of teleports through different dimensions, and when he charges at you, Minda's hand comes out, grabs his head, turns it on his side, and you as the wolf just mow down on his stomach. Again, you do that a couple other times, just like in every Zelda game, and then Minda pretty much uses the Fuse Shadow to turn into a giant dark beast and tries to pretty much kill Ganon, but the whole castle collapses and you find out, or at least it leads to Minda being killed. Ganon's on horseback, you're on horseback with Princess Zelda. He's got a ghost army of people, so the point of it right now is you're chasing him. Zelda's firing the light arrows at him, and it stuns him, and you go up and do your swinging blade attack on him. Do that a couple times again. Then you're in a one-on-one battle with Ganon using all of the sword techniques you learned from the past hero, which a lot of people speculate is the older version of Link from Ocarina of Time. You do that a couple times, hitting him, and then eventually you impale him in the chest and you win the game.
For my favorite boss battle, it's nothing too crazy the big mighty Pooh from Conker's Bad Fur Day. It's actually just the most cinematic to me. One of my favorite game franchises has been Battlefield, and my favorite for the campaigns has been the Bad Company series. Bad Company 1 and 2 were just absolutely amazing. I love them. But in Bad Company 2, you got to stop this crazy United States ending bomb element from entering the country, which is happening on this giant cargo plane. And you and your little squad of 3, well, you plus 3, are traversing through the ship, the plane, and you're shooting people and everything, trying to be stealthy at first. Then you just go loud with semi-automatic shotguns and LMGs, and then you realize that this is going to be all for naught. Nobody's flying the plane; it's on autopilot, and the bomb's ready to go off in this bulletproof area, and you're basically screwed. You're the only ones left on the plane, except for the bad dude, the bad guy, Kirilenko. Now, in my opinion, anybody with more than a 3-syllable last name in a movie and or video game has just got to be a bad guy. It has to be. So, you end up going to be we're going to do the ultimate sacrifice. And, Sarge, he's this guy who's he's basically the token old guy in any movie that's 2 days to retirement sort of deal. And he's been, the whole game, he's chiming off how he's so close to retirement. And then he's saying, oh, well, retirement's overrated anyway, so they take C4 that they're going to blow this bulletproof area up to kill this friggin' doomsday weapon that's going to kill all of the United States. And the guy's like, no, what are you doing? I won. I won because I'm in this bulletproof area. You brought C4, and that's cheating. Well, so you blow up the thing, and you blow everything up, and the plane's falling like to doom. You're going to die. But luckily, the people like that you're with have parachutes. You have the one guy handing you a parachute, and it was like, "Where's Kirilenko?" Out of nowhere, he like spear checks the parachute, dives out of the plane, and you're the only one left on the plane. You're like, "Crap!" So you're now free falling from a ridiculously high height, and you see like the plane like burning up as it falls, and you're trying to catch up to like Kirilenko, who's like fighting in midair with your buddy. And you've got to off him. You've got to shoot him while falling, no parachute, and then try to and then you get the parachute from your buddy. Now, it is kind of tricky, a little trickier than it looks. But it was really fun. It's like one of those things where as you're doing it, you kind of almost feel like your stomach kind of rise up into your throat a little bit, and that's kind of what I feel like what video games do nowadays, especially with the campaign, is that video games are like the best medium because it's the movie, it's the TV show, it's whatever, but it's the one that you get to interact with and the one that you get to be a part of. And so when you get to be like this savior of the day and you're doing it in the most badass way possible, like this is like Die Hard level shit. And you just like off this dude, grab a parachute and like, yo, what's up? Nothing, son. I'd have to say my favorite boss so far was Kirilenko from Battlefield Bad Company 2. Just because it was fun.
Favorite bosses? Actually used to be one of my most hated bosses was Ornstein and Smo from Dark Souls. This game. Probably one of the hardest bosses I ever fought. It was like a 2v1 gank fest. So you go in there, you're fighting both of them. You think you're doing pretty good on it, but as soon as you take the first one out, the second one actually kills, or finishes off the other one, takes his power, becomes stronger, and you have to fight the other guy all over again. So not only do you have to do like 2 fights in one, but the second one is actually harder, and you've actually used most of like your consumables fighting the first ones. So when I actually played it the first playthrough, I was on Xbox and I wasn't online, so I could only summon one person to like help me with it, like the NPC. And they're gone quick time. Like they make short work of them. The only thing there is they're like a patsy, so you can sneak in hits from behind. But it was just my most memorable boss fight by far. Like I'll never forget it. And the lore around the two of them is actually like one of the epicenters of Dark Souls lore. All the different theories and stuff that come out of it is fantastic. So Ornstein and Smo, by far my favorite.